Oh, good afternoon, Evan. How are you today, kid?
Good afternoon, pal. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
great.
I'm glad you're good.
I'm either the most hated or the most loved guy in America right now, it seems, with all this nonsense regarding our interview with Zach Wilson on Friday. Wow. Who knew people were so sensitive? Wow.
Oh, I knew.
Yeah, but
you shouldn't be surprised by that.
But sensitive about nothing.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to it. I tweeted out to show you how crazy it got with the Zach Wilson interview. I was asked to go on Inside Edition today.
And did you say yes?
I said no.
You said no.
No.
Oh.
Inside Edition. I got 5 hours with you.
Okay.
Yeah, like why would I go on Inside Edition
Because
if I got
someone
5
would
hours today?
actually watch Inside Edition for a change.
Nah.
I would have tuned it in if you were on.
Nah.
Talking about asking a controversial question.
It wasn't controversial.
I know
if
that.
If it was, I would have got, yeah, man, let's go. Like, there was nothing controversial about it. It had to be asked. Any other show that interviewed Zach Wilson that didn't ask the question, you're not doing your job. Because that was a story. Now, I didn't make it a story, but it was a story. So I asked about it. I'll do it again. I would do it again. Yeah, so this whole thing about Zach Wilson and his hot mom just seems completely, like invented, like for something to bitch about or talk about. So I'll be your Huckleberry. It's Carton and Roberts, Monday to Friday from 2 to 7. Bring it on.
I was impressed how down the middle TMZ was. Like, when you were on the cover of TMZ, because I mentioned this on my Saturday show, I just said, hey, you should go to TMZ.com. The cover story is kind of hilarious to me. They called it very fairly because they showed what you actually asked Zach.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, anything
but
that
here's
crazy.
What it is. I think a lot of people that I think had something to say didn't hear it.
That's always the thing.
Or don't know the show, or thought that the one video clip that was out there was the entire interview.
Right.
And clearly it wasn't. So the reaction to it, I'll be honest, took me by surprise. I didn't see that coming. Friday night into Saturday, Saturday night into Sunday, Sunday night into today. It's the lead story on Daily Mail.
Oh, is it? I didn't see that.
Yeah, like my wife called me. I'm driving to work. She goes, "Oh my God, what did you do?" I'm like, "Oh, there's a lot. There could be a lot of answers to that question. I'm not sure what you're referencing." She goes, "I get Daily Mail every day on my phone. Why is your face on it?"
It took 3 days for Daily Mail to make that their lead story.
I guess, yeah.
It's like a drip, drip, drip kind of thing.
And what's funny is I've talked to the Jets since then. It hasn't even come up in conversation. So anyway, we'll get to more of that later on because there is an agenda out there amongst some people to attack me, to attack us. And you picked the wrong story to do that on. You really did. And for those of you out there that didn't hear it and commented on it, well, that's on you. I can't respond to everybody. But I thought I did respond enough in kind of generically to say that there ain't nothing wrong with what I did. And I would do it again. And again, if you did interview Zach and didn't ask him about what became a virally trending story, that's on you. But we'll get to that more coming up because I find the last 24 hours very interesting. The New York Yankees are a 500 baseball team.
They destroyed the Tigers like they should this weekend.
I wouldn't say destroyed, but they beat them. They swept
10-0. They gave up 4 runs in 3 games. They pretty much took care of business.
The New York Mets are a 500 baseball team.
Yes.
And yet, as the sand of the hourglass falls, you would think that they're not exactly the same. Because Met fans are upset. Now, let me make sure I get this right. I don't want to invent anything. I don't want to put words in anyone's mouths. But I want to make sure I have this right.
Yes.
And I watched it, and I heard it, and then I listened to all the reaction. You're upset? When I say you, I mean collectively. You're not you personally.
I can tell you what I'm upset
because I don't know
about.
if you are or you're not.
I'll let you know.
But this is the rhetoric I took out of, oh, by the way, a win. And a series win against a hated rival. You're upset because the manager brought in the closer to wrap up a series? Do I have that right? Oh, he can't get the save, so we shouldn't use him to close out the series. I just want to make sure I have this right. Have you heard the same stuff?
I've heard a variety of things, and that's not entirely true.
That's the big one.
No.
That's not the big one?
Well, I'll explain it to you. First of all, my anger this morning is at Edwin Diaz. It's not at Luis Rojas. That's number one. Number two, I wouldn't have gone to Edwin Diaz with a 4-run lead. You want to ask me why?
Please tell us why.
Not because
of tonight?
Because of tonight. Because of the fact the Mets play tonight, tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. And what I would have tried to have done is use someone else to get my last 3 outs, get the hell out of Philadelphia, and have Edwin Diaz rested going into this 4-game series against the Cardinals.
Now, quick question. Yeah. If Edwin Diaz goes out and does what he did for the 8 previous innings he's pitched, and basically shuts him down,
I would have said the same thing.
And you walk away with a 4-run win.
Yes, I would have said the same thing.
But you probably wouldn't have brought it up.
It would have been in the midst of the conversation.
They would have had a win in a series. It would have been
in the midst of a conversation. It wouldn't have been the lead story. No, of course it wouldn't have been.
Okay.
But that's my reasoning. For anyone using the reasoning of it's a non-save situation or Edwin Diaz can't pitch with a 4-run lead, I completely, utterly disagree with you.
So we're on the same bed. Are you pissed at Rojas?
No, I'm pissed at Diaz.
Because he didn't pitch well.
No, here's why, dude. Edwin Diaz was awful in 2019. After the first 2 months, he was very good for 2 months. Had an awful 2019. He has broken the trust of every Met fan. Even a year like last year where he was pretty good.
Yeah.
Even a start like this year where he's been pretty good. In the back of my mind, in the back of most Met fans' minds, you look at Edwin Diaz and you say, I can't trust him. Because you envision these moments, whether it was Los Angeles 2019, Washington 2019, bringing him back after the suspended game against the Cardinals. There's all these memories, this scar tissue that we have from Edwin Diaz. So my anger from last night, Craig, is simple.
But you won the game.
Oh, no, hold on. Yes, they won the game, but are they going to win the war?
Well, I don't know.
Can you win the war if Edwin Diaz comes into a 4-run lead
and
walks Didi Gregorius on 4 pitches?
No.
Can you win the war that way?
Let me ask you this question. The second thing I've heard a lot today.
That's my issue, by the way, individually.
The second thing is that, Rojas comes out and apparently Diaz complains that his back is stiff.
Right.
Prior
he said that
to the...
Yes.
Prior to the big
Prior to the Hoskins at bat,
the Hoskins home run, which became a double,
the pitching coach, is out there, and apparently Diaz tells Hefner, I have a sore back, but I'm good to go. I want to continue.
Okay.
That's the conversation.
Do you have an issue with the Met coaching staff at all, not just Rojas, saying that here's your closer who's been pretty damn good so far this year prior to last night. He's got a stiff back. What are we doing leaving him out there?
So I'm going to tell you.
Is that an issue?
Here's my question, because it's related.
I love Met fans.
I want to be careful when I say this. I'm not sure Edwin Diaz has any kind of back stiffness.
I'm with you on that, by the way.
And I want to make this clear.
He just didn't want to be out there.
Well, there's 2 things here, and that may be part of it. If Edwin Diaz pitches tomorrow night, I think the point I just made will look very
agree with you on that, sure.
accurate. Now, if he misses a few days, I'll admit I'm wrong. But I'll tell you why I'm very skeptical there's any kind of back issue with Edwin Diaz. Number one, I think after the Hoskins play, he's thinking to himself, get me the hell out of here. And I think Luis Rojas is thinking the same thing. I think he's thinking, wait a second, we just got lucky by the grace of God. This has been ruled a double. I can't let Diaz in to face Bryce Harper. And if you have a guy leave because of an injury, you can give that guy a little bit more time to warm up. That's the other factor.
Okay, so that'd be smart. That would be smart. Okay.
I am very skeptical, just based on everything that unfolded in the 9th inning, if there really is any kind of back issue for Edwin Diaz. Because I also think, Craig, to the saving face point, which is a good one, they're always looking to defend him. Don't worry, Diaz's slider is nasty. He's great. He's fantastic. Ignore what you saw in 2019. Ignore what you saw day 2 of the 2020 season. Forget that. Diaz is great.
All right, let me give you the last one, then we'll get to the Yankees here real quick, okay? This is just a little recap of the weekend. We got lots to do today. Plus, it's Mother's Day week. So we're going to have a little Mother's Day theme. I figured, why not?
Sure.
After the mom situation on Friday and all the attention it's getting, we might as well honor moms every day of the week.
We should.
So that'll be coming up.
We should honor moms every day of the year.
That'll be coming up a little later on with Sela today. Last thing Met-wise, and we'll get all your calls, of course, okay? The last thing Met-wise, good thing you're in St. Louis and not home. Because Lindor is about at, I don't even know what to say. Like, even again last night.
He's a mess. Just say it. He is a freaking mess right now.
The fly out to right? I mean, at some point, are you tired of hearing at some point?
Now, this has become...
Batting 171 and 0 for 5 last night?
Maybe this is saying too much on May 2nd, May 3rd, whatever today's date is. They're at a crisis point with him because... Never have I seen in any of the big Met acquisitions. And by the way, ESPN embarrassed themselves last night. If you want to get into detail on that, we can. But ESPN should never cover baseball ever again. A-Rod should go away. Vasgersian should go away. The graphics department should go away. They should all go away. They sucked last night. But I've never seen this kind of struggle on this level from a star this good.
Yeah.
You know, when we talk about guys coming to New York and struggling, this is at a crisis point.
This is also why you sign a contract before you take the field for the first time. Because I'll tell you this right now. If he had not signed that contract and got off to the start he's currently off to, you know, what is it, almost 20 games in? That contract wouldn't be getting done anytime soon.
Not only that, I think you find yourself pressing even more. Because at the end of the day, Lindor's
Can you
pressing.
imagine, by the way, if he was like, F you, I'm going to roll the dice.
You imagine?
And then batted 171.
Oh, my God.
You know, 20 games into the season. And has one hit with dudes on base.
Dude, and it's the at-bats. Like, there are specific things happening in these at-bats on Friday night. And Friday night's a whole nother story because here's the funny thing about the Mets. Let me just say, Lindor swinging at a 3-0 pitch near his eyes. That was brutal.
Yeah.
But you know what the big story was 2 days ago?
I do.
The Mets are gutless.
Oh,
the Mets are challenged to a fight.
I thought that was like
and
a
the Mets
question and
backed
answer
out.
thing.
Was that what it was? Was that your
I
answer?
thought we were going Q&A there, but
Okay.
you went rhetorical.
What was the big story 2 days ago?
Well, the big story has changed.
Well, because the Mets won.
No.
The Mets backed down from a fight. Everybody's crushing them.
That to me was the big story.
Right, but no one's talking about it anymore.
Whipped out.
Yeah.
The Mets were challenged to fight.
Yes.
And other than a couple gyrations.
No, they did nothing.
Pretty much said, we don't want to fight.
No, and then Dom Smith, who I like.
That's the story.
After the game says, we can fight. We can meet by the runway.
Okay.
Dude, Dom, I love you, Dom. You were challenged in that moment to a fight.
Yeah.
If you went out there and went after Alvarado, every Met fan would have supported you. We would have paid you damn fine, okay? That was your moment to fight.
See, and that's why winning cures everything.
It cured it
because
completely, bro.
You forgot about the fact that you wimped out from a fight. And baseball fights aren't real fights anyway. But you said no to the fight. And now all I keep hearing about is Donnie Diesel Stevenson. So all of a sudden, now the Mets are tough guys talking about hitting the heater. But 3 nights ago, you backed down from a fight.
Yes. But you know what? And I remember,
but you're big tough guys.
But here's the key, because I remember thinking this Friday night, feeling it over the weekend. If Dom Smith fights Jose Alvarado, and let's say beats him up.
Yeah,
we're all great. This is like the 86 Mets. Yippity-doo-dah. Wouldn't it change the fact that Alvarado struck him out? Wouldn't it change the fact that the Mets lost the game on a passed ball where 2 runs scored and they couldn't hit?
Right.
So what I want is wins. More than fights, we want wins. And so that's why we're talking about it now, but it's an afterthought to most Met fans because they did win on Saturday in dramatic fashion, and they did win last night in dramatic fashion.
If you're a Met fan, when you woke up Saturday morning,
pissed.
You woke up saying, I got a team with no backbone.
Yes.
I'm just calling it the way it is.
Yeah.
Now you come out, you win the next 2, so you win the series, but don't forget what happened Friday night. You got called out.
Well, but Craig.
Didn't answer the call.
Craig.
Sorry.
I got a
Donnie Diesel.
Well,
what are we doing?
It's connected. Let me throw this at you.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Donnie Diesel until Saturday night?
No, I have not.
I have not either.
Right.
And
Do you think it's a real person or no?
Well, let's examine this. We don't start hearing about Donnie Diesel till Saturday.
Right.
Friday night, the New York Mets got challenged to a fight, and they backed down.
Yep.
What happened with this human or non-human or person or non-person that caused the Mets to create maybe a fictitious character to inspire them? Because what Alonso said about Donnie Diesel was...
Donnie Diesel!
He pumps him up. He's not just the approach coach, he pumps him up. Did some 5'5" plump man scream at the New York Mets, scream at the roster and say, you guys are gutless, and now they're using that plump man as a mascot? That's one of my theories, Craig.
Do you know who the 5'5" guy is?
I do not.
No.
But think about it. We don't hear about it, until the day after the Mets got challenged to a fight, back down, lost, looked gutless, and they respond with back-to-back wins, and they talk about we're fighting, we're pumped up. Don't you think that's somewhat connected?
I think it's interesting. They finally scored a couple runs, so they're feeling good about themselves. Conforto broke out of it. Alonso
Conforto's red hot.
Was tagging the ball. Yeah, but it was so strange.
Who is he?
I went from they're afraid to fight to Donnie Diesel's pumping us up.
Yes.
I don't get that.
Well, that's what's so weird about it. And think about this on Saturday.
Do you think there is a guy?
I think there is a guy. I'm starting to think now there's somebody they're using as a mascot.
All right.
There's somebody who I think after the non-fight on Friday said something. And the guys probably laughed at him, but are now using it as a rallying cry.
I can see a guy coming out of the showers, towel on, doing like a Hulk Hogan type, Macho Man Savage type of thing, mocking the Phillies pitcher.
Yes, yeah.
And then all the guys kind of rallying around that dude. And like I can see a guy, no joke, coming out of the shower going, Donnie Diesel.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think it's similar.
So I think if there is a real person, I think it's somebody on the team who came out after the loss Friday night and in trying to get everybody, off,
relaxed?
Something.
Calm?
Or maybe came in Saturday morning to the locker room. I think it's a guy on the team who is playing a character. But
I think you may be right on. I think it's somebody in the organization playing a character. And I just have a feeling he's very short and he's very plump.
All right. Well, do you think it's Jay Horwitz?
You know what? That's not crazy.
He may not travel with them, though.
He may not, but maybe he made a Zoom video for them.
Maybe.
Where he said, you guys have to fight. Or something like that.
In any event, you got the Yankees sweeping the Tigers. Listen, not much to say other than this on the Yankees, just real quick. Back to 500. Should have been there a couple games ago after the bad loss to Baltimore, but okay, here we are at 500. And if Corey Kluber continues what he has now done in his last two starts, look out.
The New York Yankees have the third best ERA in baseball.
Yeah, look out.
Let that marinate. And it's not just the bullpen, because for a while it was the bullpen and Garrett Cole. But when you look at Tyon's last start, you look at Kluber, you look at Montgomery. That's why I think they dominated the weekend, even though two of the games were close. Because they pitched they shut him out in 2 out of 3 games.
Yeah, Kluber especially, though. That's back-to-back. We overuse the word dominating. But that's back-to-back.
No. Yesterday, he dominated. His start before that, 6 2/3, 1-1, was very, very good. But Corey Kluber, I hate to say it, is kind of reminiscent of Cy Young Kluber from 3 years ago. And if he's half as good,
look out.
Whoa.
Yankees going to be special this year. I can just feel it. So
now
just relax.
Now you went to special?
Oh, yeah. They're going to be special, just like my New York Knicks. That's right. West Coast trip my ass. Let's go.
You want to hear something crazy?
Yeah.
The New York Knicks.
Beating the Rockets by 30 points.
Crushed them.
Letting people know.
The New York Knicks have the exact same record as the Los Angeles Lakers.
That's right, but the Lakers are in trouble.
Let that marinate.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. What a great weekend of basketball all around.
No, it was not great on Sunday afternoon. It was not great. Hey, Coach Nash. Maybe the game plan shouldn't simply be give Giannis a jump shot. Now, I know you're banking on Giannis missing that most of the time, but DeAndre Jordan defending Giannis can't be the game plan in a 7-game series. And what you saw yesterday afternoon, that's why I want the 1 seed, Craig. That game and tomorrow night is why avoid them in the second round, but the 1 seed's gone. I'm telling you. We got
lots to do, plus we will get in a little bit more in depth to this nonsense from Friday regarding Zach Wilson, who I thought was great. Enjoyed interviewing him, but the reaction to the interview, which really has nothing to do with me and nothing to do with Zach, but everything to do with you and what's wrong with society today and social media today. This little story, this little engine that could, is everything wrong with social media and how kind of monkey see, monkey do social media has become. Starting, mind you, with the New York Post, who should be ashamed of themselves. And I know they don't like me. They prove they don't like me every week, every month, every year. I get it. But you embarrassed yourselves. You did. Sorry. That's just the way it goes. And you will continue to embarrass yourselves. Fear not, because you are the New York Post. Plus, a little birdie told me. Well, you know what? I'm going to save this one.
What'd the birdie tell you?
Oh, I'm not telling you. Hey, Big Mac, remind me later today to tell people what the little birdie told me. It's something that took place in the 5 boroughs over the weekend, and it was ugly. Ugly to the point where Mark Malusis used to have a line. I don't know why he doesn't use it anymore, because it was like his catchphrase. If you can't play
I already know what this is. I already know what this is because I lived it, because I experienced it.
I didn't say anything.
And it wasn't as ugly as you're describing. It was ugly, but it was not as ugly as you're trying to throw out there.
I believe Moose and the Mags used to say, if you can't play it, talk it. We have proof of that from this past weekend.
You have no proof.
Lots to do. 877-337-6666.